Zenless Zone Zero's version 1.3 livestream gave us a glimpse of what the upcoming S-rank agents, Tsukishiro, Yanagi, and Lighter can do. So today, I want to give my thoughts on how valuable both of these characters can be for your account if you're thinking about pulling for them. I also want to preface this video by saying that the ZZZ livestreams don't give a ton of info about the character kits, so the info in this video isn't going to be as in-depth for that reason. But I do plan to do a full kit analysis video for both Yanagi and Lighter closer to their releases. Once we actually have their full kit info, we can go more in depth on them. So without further ado here, let's start out with Yanagi, who's going to be an electric anomaly character. So starting out with her additional ability, she's going to be able to increase her electric anomaly buildup when using her basic attack. This ability is activated by having either another anomaly character or electric character on the team, which honestly shouldn't be too difficult to activate on her best teams, considering that she'll probably work best in anomaly focused setups. Yanagi's special and EX special allow her to swap between two different stances, and each stance will have its own attack sequence and buffs. While we don't know what these buffs are at this point, the livestream did mention that upon switching stances, the buff from the previous stance would linger for a set duration, which could be really beneficial depending on what each of the buffs are, because you could trigger, both buffs at the same time with that, which is going to be pretty good, I think, regardless of what the buffs are, but we'll see how good they are once we actually have that information. Additionally, when Yanagi's EX special hits an enemy that has any anomaly on them, it will trigger Polarity Disorder, which is a unique disorder specific to Yanagi's kit. Polarity Disorder will not only deal additional damage based on Yanagi's anomaly proficiency, but it also will not remove the initial anomaly from the enemy the way that normal disorder does when it procs. This is going to allow Yanagi and her teams to benefit from applying disorder to get that extra damage, plus still retaining the normal benefits of the original anomaly as well, which is going to be very nice for some extra bursts of damage, especially since the Polarity Disorder, it applies directly when she uses the EX special. Now, that's everything they really mentioned about Yanagi's kit so far. I think overall she's going to be a pretty strong character for shock teams, and I know a lot of people have been thinking and have been talking about ever since we knew that Yanagi was supposed to be an electric anomaly character. We already have one of those. We have Grace. So I do think overall Yanagi will probably end up being a bit better at the very least. With how little we know about the kit from the live stream, because it seems like they really only talk in like general terms of what the character tends to, is able to do with their kit, but they don't go into too many specifics, so we will have to wait on that. But I do want to see how much better Yanagi will end up being, because since we know just what her kit generally does, it's kind of hard to gauge if she's going to be significantly better than Grace, or if she's just going to be like slightly better as like a premium kind of upgrade. So we'll have to wait till we have her full kit to really see that, but I also have the feeling that if you have Grace, Yanagi probably isn't like a must pull for you, but she will end up being an upgrade regardless. And I do think overall she is going to still have a lot of value, especially with her Polarity Disorder effect. So no matter what her future full kit ends up looking like once we get that, I think she's bound to be a pretty solid pickup for anyone who wants to invest more in their anomaly comps. So now let's move on to Lighter, who is a fire stun character. His core passive allows him to accumulate morale, and once it's at a certain amount, he can trigger the morale burst state with either the 5th hit of his basic attack sequence or his quick assist. Morale burst gives him an impact buff, which will build up daze much faster on enemies so you can get them stunned more effectively. Lighter's attacks in the morale burst state will also decrease enemies' fire and ice resistance, which in turn makes them stay stunned for a longer period. Lighter's additional ability increases the fire and ice damage of allies, which is especially useful since it activates when he has another Sons of Caledon or attack ally on the team. That may not have seemed like a lot, but that really is everything that they told us about Lighter's kit so far. And even though it does seem very simple, kind of bare bones in comparison to what we got about Yanagi, I think that Lighter's value, just in terms of his general playstyle here, is pretty obvious to me. I think in a lot of situations, he's just going to be a very strong stun character alongside any fire DPS. And right now, the main DPSs that are going to benefit from that are going to be Soldier 11, since she is an attack specialty. so she'll get the extra fire damage from his additional ability. Plus also for Sons of Caledon, that is going to help out Bernice since he does buff fire damage with that as well. So he can also be a very good option for the Sons of Caledon teams. Although I'm not sure of who exactly you would want to replace. Maybe you run one team with like Bernice and Lighter, and you run one team with like Hyper and someone else for like physical anomaly. Yeah, just another Sons of Caledon option means more variety in those teams, so that is also good. But the thing I also want to take note of, which is the biggest thing that made me raise an eyebrow at first when I saw this kit, was the ice damage buff. And because his additional ability activates with an attack specialty ally, Lighter could also end up being a very solid option on a team alongside Ellen, and he can take the same spot as Lycon. Now, I don't know if Lighter's going to end up being a better character for this team overall. I'm going to wait until we have his full kit and actually see him in action and try him out in the game before I make this kind of claim, but he could end up being a very competitive option alongside Ellen, compared to how Lycon does, since not only does Lighter have the ice damage buff from his additional ability, but also through his core passive, he's going to lower enemies' ice resistance. So this can be something really good for Ellen's damage overall, plus having a really good stunner as well just really helps Ellen out. But yeah, we'll see more about that once we have Lighter's full kit. But he does have some very interesting possibilities with that extra ice damage buff, which doesn't help the Sons of Caledon at all, but we'll see how he does with other teams as well, since he can be slotted in with any attack specialty character. So overall, version 1.3 is looking to have some very solid characters coming out, and despite that, I am likely going to be skipping both of them, just because I just pulled Bernice. If y'all saw the summon video for that, it was not fun to try to get her the first time, so I'm going to just be focusing on building up my account where it is right now, and probably going to pull something in the future, unless I do, go back on my word and try to pull for one of these two, because they are both going to be very good. But with that, that is going to be the end of the video here. Let me know in the comments if you're going to be pulling on either of the banners for 1.3, or if you're going to be skipping like I am. But I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed and want to see more content from me, be sure to hit that subscribe button. But with that, I will see you all next time.